When you were talking about importing oil, and we're a an oil producing nation, isn't much of the the difficulty with moving our oil from the oil sands, moving it so far east and west, and don't you have to have pipelines that move that oil, that crude oil, to facilities? And if you don't have those pipelines, if the cost of moving the oil is too much, then isn't it cheaper to import it from the coal producing locations around the world?
Well, it's not a matter of cost, it's a matter of ability to transport the oil. And you're exactly right. We need an energy east pipeline. And whether we take it through northern Quebec, through First Nations territories who are open to this concept, or take it through lower Quebec or through the US into the Maritimes, that should be our first priority to get oil from our western provinces to the Maritimes. And the Maritimes have large reserves of natural gas that could also be extracted and converted to LNG and shipped to Germany, Korea, and Japan and elsewhere. But there's so much inertia, there's so much regulatory impasse that these projects take forever to bring to market. The coalition of chiefs across the country, of indigenous chiefs, want to invest in pipelines, want to develop our resources, want to develop our minerals for electric vehicles. And they're being stymied by the federal government at this time to realize their goals because they see getting involved in the pipeline business and in the oil and gas extraction and mineral extraction business will bring prosperity to First Nations across the country, and it will
So
be
it,
done in.
so if prosperity is inevitable with what you're saying, why is the government dragging their feet? Why is the federal government dragging their feet on this?
Well, I believe personally, the federal government has an political ideology that is in conflict with what I've just shared on the show. And they they believe that our climate crisis, our carbon emission crisis, can be solved in 10 to 15 to 20 years. And world authorities have said we have to shoot for 2050. We cannot achieve net zero by 2030, 2035. 2050 is a realistic goal, and we have to develop transitional solutions to get there. And there's no shortcuts to getting to net zero. It's a long process. It's going to take a lot of development. It's going to take renewables supplemented with natural gas peak power plants. And it's going to take a lot of investment from all the different sectors of our society. But it can be done with a market based approach with the drivers that we need to see from government to provide the decision makers in industry to take the next steps. And Bill Gates wrote an amazing book on how this can be achieved in the next 30 years. And he believes that we can get to net zero by 2050 with new technology, new innovation, and transitional solutions.